All right. Welcome back to the Football Heritage. We are back again today. We'll be looking at the weekend preview. We have so many games in the La Liga and the Premier League, but we will be analyzing few of the games, even though we'll get our score prediction for all the games in the Premier League and Real Madrid and Barcelona game. So before we start, let me just show the both league table. Liverpool still top, even though they didn't play last weekend, but they are still top of the English Premier League. And as you can see, Liverpool they play 14 games. They have 35 points. Second place, Chelsea play one game more with 31 points. And Arsenal also play one game more than Liverpool. They have 29 points. And for the La Liga, Barcelona is first place, but let me just show the La Liga table. Barcelona is first place. They play 17 games and they have 38 points. Second place, Real Madrid, 16 games with 36 points. So if Real Madrid can win their outstanding game, they will have one more point than Barcelona. And Atletico Madrid is also in this race because they are third place. They play 16 games, one game less than Barcelona. They have 35 points. So if they win their outstanding game, they will have equal point with Barcelona. So let's look at the first game, which is the Arsenal game. Tomorrow, Arsenal play the first game in the Premier League. And the record between Arsenal and Everton, particularly their last five Premier League fixture, the last five meeting between both teams, Arsenal, they have won everything. They won their last five games against Everton. And in those five games, Everton managed to score only one goal. And tomorrow, Arsenal will be playing Everton at home at the Emirates. With that poor record at the Emirates, Everton, they have not scored against Arsenal at the Emirates for some games now. And looking at their poor form, their last five meetings, Arsenal have won everything. And coming into the game, Arsenal last five fixture in the Premier League, they won three, they drew two. Everton, their last five games in the Premier League, two defeats, two draws with one win. So, looking at the game tomorrow, Everton, they have a very poor record in recent time against Arsenal. Zero win in their last five games. Do you think they stand a chance tomorrow against Arsenal?
Well, I want to say good evening to the viewer, the listener, follower, well wisher, and all of the fam. And good evening to the footballing world. Um, that game is it's not a difficult one for Arsenal tomorrow. The fact of the matter, Arsenal third play on the table, and Everton 15 plays on the table with a game in hand. 14 points accumulated so far this season. And from the Everton perspective, they've been in a very poor form. They have in a poor run. They had a poor start to the season, and getting this far only accumulated 14 points, and you're going against one of the top side in the Premier League, one of the title contender, third place City on the table. With the current run of Arsenal, they are in fantastic form. They're having good games, they're scoring goals. We saw that game in the Champions League. Uh, it's going to be a tough one for Everton. Everton is fighting to redeem themselves. They want to get up there. They don't want to be in relegation zone. Um, they can pull out a fight. We know Everton for playing some surprises games sometimes. But if you look at the last five meeting between Arsenal and Everton, um, it's terrible. It's terrible from the Everton point of view. They haven't won any of their last five games against Arsenal. Um, Never even pull out a draw. They lost everything to Arsenal. So it's not a good thing for them. But again, this is the Premier League. This is Everton we're talking about. Sometimes they pull out surprises. Um, if that happened, if they pull out a fight, maybe they can get a point from that game, pull out a draw. But with their current form, if they go to Arsenal or go to that game like that again, Arsenal, they're going to, lose massively to Arsenal. From the Arsenal point of view, they are in good form. You know, everything is happening for them right now, except for the game they drew against Fulham, um, which was a tricky match for them. And then they went in the Champions League midweek and they won comfortably. So coming to the weekend, they want to get back on the win way in the Premier League, having drawn their last game in the Premier League. They don't want to um, create that gap between first and second place. Because if they drop any points and maybe Chelsea or and Liverpool win their next game, it's going to be another gap for Arsenal. Arsenal um, want to prove to everybody. They want to, do it for their fan that they are title contender. Being a title contender, you got to be consistent in winning games. We agree sometimes you can win like 4 or 5 games in succession and then you come out to draw a game. That's not a big problem. But you don't want to draw 2 games in a row or draw the game and then go back and lose to 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 the next game or lost to another team, making it 2 games in succession, dropping points. They don't want that. So my prediction for that game is going to be 3-1 in favor of Arsenal with that current form as compared to Everton.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that prediction. You said Arsenal 3, Everton 1. For me, that game tomorrow is going to be a one-sided game because Everton, they are in a very bad form at this moment. Even though they won their last Premier League game by 4 goals to 0, but that was the first time they scored in their last 5 games in the Premier League. And going to the Emirates, they're going to struggle because Arsenal, they just lost 2 points at Fulham. And they want to get back to winning ways. And I can only see Arsenal winning. Despite they having problem up front, Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. But the way Everton, the way they play, the way Sean Dash always line up a very defensive style, it's going to be a very long day for them tomorrow. I can see them losing tomorrow, the 3 goals to 0. So my prediction for that, I don't think they're going to score. My prediction for that game tomorrow is Arsenal 3, Everton 0. So we now move on to the Liverpool picture. Liverpool, oh, Liverpool, they didn't play this one weekend. Their game against Everton was postponed due to bad weather in the city of Liverpool. But they returned. They won in the Champions League midweek 1-0 away. They have a 100% record in the European Champions League. They are first in the Champions League table. Coming back to the Premier League, first play, 4 points clear of Chelsea with a game in hand. And Liverpool last 5 games in the Premier League, they have won four and they drew one. The one game they drew in the last 5 games was away to Newcastle United. And everyone knows going to St. James's Park is a very difficult ground. And looking at Fulham on the other hand, their last 5 Premier League game, they won two, they draw two with only one defeat. But the last 5 meeting in the Premier League between the two clubs, Liverpool, they won four of their last 5 meeting in the Premier League with Fulham. With one draw, they lost nothing. So Fulham, they have now won again against Liverpool in their last 5 meeting in the Premier League. And now looking at Liverpool form, this one weekend they didn't play, but City dropped points. Arsenal also dropped points. So that was a win-win situation for them, even though their game was postponed. Coming back tomorrow, Mo Salah, uh, Gravenberg, Van Dijk, all those guys, they are in form. So what's your take for that game tomorrow?
Well, the good thing about Liverpool right now, since the start of the season, um, they continue their good run since the start of the season. They've been winning game after game. Um, I know they've rested a little bit in the Premier League this going weekend because that game was postponed due to bad weather, and then they went away to Girona in Spain in the Champions League. That game was not the best, one of their best games this season, but they still managed to pull up a 1-0 win. This is this is the surprising part about Liverpool this season. They're not playing that kind of attracting football we used to see under their coach, Jurgen Klopp. They're not playing that kind of football right now. They're playing exact football. Defend well, attack, score goal. This is the football Liverpool is playing this season. Some games they go to, if the game is tough, they're not going to score a lot of goal, but they will make sure they defend very well to concede, to stop the opponent from scoring on them. It was the case with Girona. Girona put out a good fight. They created a lot of chances in the Champions League. If you watch that game technically, um, um, it was kind of like Liverpool was playing on a break. They play the ball in their half a little bit and then play and go on a break. So this is the game that Liverpool playing this season and paying up for them. Sometimes you don't have to play beautiful football. When you're in control, when Liverpool is in control of the game, they play beautiful football. They control, they possess the ball, create a lot of chances, do a lot of run, and score goals. But every games that they go to, the manager approaches differently. I have observed that on several occasions. He approaches the game based on how the opposing team approach them as well. So Fulham is a tricky one for Liverpool. It's a tough match. Um, they got a very uh, good guys in the Fulham team. They got a lot of tough guys, attacking wise, the midfield wise. Those guys pull out a good fight. They run at defenders. We saw it against Arsenal. Arsenal struggled against Fulham, and Fulham continued playing that kind of football through all the season since the start of this season. So it's going to be a tricky one for Liverpool. It's going to be a tough match, um, a challenging match coming from the Champions League, resting a few days, and then going back to Fulham. My prediction for that game is going to be one, in favor of Liverpool with 2-1 victory. But on the other side, from the Fulham perspective, they fight they put out against Arsenal. If they put out the same fight with Liverpool, they can get that 2-1. Maybe they can lose 2-1. It could be a tight loss to them, because we saw then how they played against Arsenal and they play against all the tough side this season in the Premier League. And Liverpool going to Liverpool being uh, the league leader. They're on top of the table. Every team that go to play them, they want to pull out a fight. They want to surprise people that they can play. I mean, they can play the best team and get a result from them. We saw it against a couple of games ago. But because Liverpool continue to stand their ground, this is the reason why they pull up win at the end of the day. We saw that game against Chelsea. Chelsea pull up a good fight against Liverpool. By the end of the day, game management for Liverpool manager. His game management is very good. His game management is very, very good. If you scored on Liverpool, you scored against Liverpool, you're leading them, they come up with different tactics. When they score on you first, their approach to the game is different. They'll be missing one of their star player in that Mayfield tomorrow. Alexis McAllister, he's suspended five yellow card. So he'll be out of that game. But they still have a better options, you know, even the absence of him. They got Ryan Gravenberg, they got Curtis Jones, they got uh superstar. Those three guys can, they can pull out a show in a Mayfield with Mo Salah and Louisiana, maybe Nunes or Capo. And three of those three guys that will be often supported by those guys in the Mayfield, it could cause serious problem for Fulham tomorrow. So my prediction is in favor of Liverpool. They're going to win again 2-1 tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much for that prediction. For me, looking at that game tomorrow, it's a tricky game because Fulham, they have a good team. They have some good players, particularly Raul Jimenez. He's a good attacker. If you give him any opportunity, he's going to score. But the way Liverpool playing this season, it is scary. It's a new coach coming into Anfield, and his style of play is a little bit different from Klopp because Klopp it was all about energy, but Arne Slot, I think Liverpool most of their game they control the game, even though some games sometimes it depending on the circumstances in a game, then they fall back to defend. But most of their game, if you watch Liverpool, they really control the game, particularly Gravenberg, McAllister, and Curtis Jones. When they play with the trio, they usually control the middle of the pack. And looking at the attack of Liverpool, that attack is deadly. Mo Salah, he's the best player in the Premier League. They can have other players, the mainstream media, if they like, they can have Cole Palmer, they can have Bukayo Saka, because that's just normal. Any new English player come up, they're going to happen. They will say he's the greatest player in the world. Like I listened to one few days ago, he said that Cole Palmer is among the top 3 best player in the world right now. So this is what they do. You will never hear them speak about Salah. They always downplay Salah achievement, and I think that's a disservice. What Salah has achieved for the past 7.5 years at Liverpool, not many players achieve that. And he has been consistent. That's the major thing about any player is consistency. But yet the mainstream media will tell you that Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, they are the best player in the Premier League. But Salah, he has the best number, GA, goal and assist. He has the best number. And he just few goals behind Thierry Henry to be one of the all-time higher goal scorer in the history of the Premier League. And he's going to surpass Thierry Henry this season. Henry also played 8 seasons in the Premier League. This is Salah's 8th year. And he's going to surpass Thierry Henry in the 8th season. He also won the Champions League with Liverpool. And you look at Salah up front. This guy, even he's not into the game, He can just come from anywhere in school. That's the main difference between Arsenal and Liverpool. Mo Salah. And you got the Darwin Nunes. His finishing is terrible, but he has pace. He will always keep the defenders on their toes. He has pace. And the same as Luis Diaz. So in transition, Liverpool, they are dirty. They are the best thing on the break in the Premier League. Liverpool can defend a corner in 6 seconds, they score on the opposition. So for me, I think with all our qualities Liverpool have, I think they're going to be Fulham tomorrow. So my prediction for that game is 3-1 to Liverpool. Liverpool 3, Fulham 1. And
speaking on you speaking on Salah consistency, and the mainstream media, kind of downplay it. They don't talk about it a lot. They don't even, you know, it's obvious. It's not only it's because of that. You see, um, players are nominated for the best player in the world. Salah is always out of it. It's just unfortunate for him because these guys have been so consistent, and he's one of the players that's injury free. I talked about this last week. Just take a look at that. See how many games this guy go to, how many games he play, as compared to other players that get rested, you know, that stay off game because of injury. Salah play consistently. He don't suffer from fatigue. This guy is a complete footballer. Not be real. Not because he's playing for Liverpool, but because what he brings to the game. What this guy brings to the game is so different. If you look at his track record, how he struggled with Chelsea, he went to other clubs, or he went to Roma. So he went through a lot before coming to Liverpool. And those 7 years going to the eighth season now, he been phenomenal. The guy have been so good. You know, I was just saying the same thing with Liverpool. They got to give the guy a contract that he need. You cannot delay it. This guy have been good for the club. He had done a lot without Salah. The consistency of his scoring and assisting. Liverpool can be to where they are in the Premier League this season, even the past season, what we're talking about. So the English player, we know that they always do that. Cole Palmer just came out. This is a first season that he started playing, goal scoring and assisting. Last season he did a couple of them. Let him go like two or three seasons in a row before you try to compare him or make him the best player in the Premier League. So those things are we have seen it time after time in the back of the Premier League. The English people does that all the time, so it's nothing strange about it. You know.
and thank you. And the CAF they had the audacity, right? They shortlisted 5 players for the African Footballer of the Year without Mo Salah, Hakimi, Lokman, Simon Adingra from Cote d'Ivoire and Brighton, Rohem Williams, the South African goalkeeper, and Seru Girassi, the Guinean and Borussia Dortmund striker. This list is incomplete. Mo Salah is the best player in Africa. I agree. Somebody may have a better season than him, but to name 5 players from Africa, 5 best players from Africa, without Mo Salah, that's criminal. That's criminal. So we move on to our Real Madrid game on Saturday because we're discussing a Saturday game fight before we go to Sunday. Real Madrid, they are 2 points off Barcelona with a game in hand, and they visit Rayo Vallecano on Saturday. And Madrid and Vallecano, I mean, their last 5 meetings, between the two teams, Real Madrid, they win 2, 1 defeat and 2 draws. Their last 5 meetings in La Liga with Vallecano. But Vallecano last 5 games in La Liga, they have won 2, 3 defeats. On the other hand, Real Madrid, la last 5 games in La Liga, they won four with just one defeat. And Madrid, most of their injured players are coming back from injury. Vini is back, Rodrigo, and Camavinga is already training with his squad. And looking at that game tomorrow, despite Madrid struggles, but yet they are just 2 points off Barcelona with a game in hand. And tomorrow they have the chance to go top of the league. So, what's your take on the game tomorrow?
Um, Real Madrid continues surprising people around the world. Um, with the injury crisis, the poor form of the team, to see them stay fighting to be on top of the La Liga, not too far away, very close to Barcelona. If the league remain like this until they play outstanding match, it's obvious that Madrid going to be on top of the table. So we got to give some credit to Real Madrid. I'm a Real Madrid fan, 100% Real Madrid fan. I'm proud of them. I'm really proud of Madrid. They're not at their best form. This is not the best of Madrid. When the best come, it's going to be different. It's going to be chaotic for opposition team. They're struggling, but they still manage to win games. You know, I said it before. The strength of Madrid right now, they're not playing a beautiful football. Those guys are struggling to adapt, but the togetherness, the unity of the players, the support they give each other, you know, it it keeping it going. You can tell, you can see it from the feed. If one person score, if Vanish score, you're gonna see Jude Bellingham, you're gonna see Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo, all the rest of the guys. They will go around him, try to motivate him, embrace what you did, what he did. It goes to the rest of the players. They all does the same thing. So that is the strength of Madrid, and it's paying off for them. If all those guys recover, that's one aspect of it. Madrid need to get their form. They're winning games, but they're not playing their best game. They struggle in games at the end of it to win it because of individual brilliances. So when this guy come back and they work together, Madrid grab their form, they're gonna be one of the deadly team in the world. Very, very dangerous. They got a lot of young players in that team as well. We talk about Barcelona getting a lot of young players. Madrid to have, younger players as well that in their 20s, you know. So that is Madrid's strength right now. And they're doing it game after game. We saw that game against Girona before going to the Champions League. People thought Madrid were going to struggle. And they won 3-0. They went to Atalanta. Atalanta is regarded as one of the best in this season.
Yeah, they are first playing Serie A.
First place in Serie A, and they are doing well in the Champions League as well. But they were defeated, they are home on their own page by Real Madrid, by the same struggling team we're talking about, where you're seeing defensive midfielder playing a center defender role. So I don't like to complain about team. I don't like seeing coaches or staff talking about, oh, they're struggling because of injury player like some other guys in the Premier League. I don't just get it. If you look at the injury list of Madrid from the start of this season, what they've been going through, Madrid should be in a position to say they're going through all those things because of that injury crisis. But they put everything behind them. They stay full of a fight. That's why you call a team. You got to get a big team. Somebody go out, somebody comes in. So to the game tomorrow, um, Vallecano, they're going to put up a fight, but Madrid going to do their same old thing they've been doing this season. Uh, the game against Girona, we saw that game. Madrid put up a good fight. They control that game. They defend well, controls the game, score goals. So They're going to do the exact same thing. So the momentum is building. We saw it in the Champions League with Atalanta. So it's going to be the same tomorrow, and it's a chance for them, to go up front for the first time after so many weeks. If they win tomorrow, because Barcelona got to play Sunday, win tomorrow, Madrid be on top of the table until Barcelona can play that game. But it will be equal game after Madrid game tomorrow. So that game tomorrow is 3-1 in favor of Real Madrid.
All right. 3-1 from Madrid. For me, the game tomorrow, it will be a little bit difficult because whenever a beating go away, usually the small team they always put up a fight. It's gonna be a very difficult game for Real Madrid. But with Vinny Jr. coming back from injury and he will be sharper than what he was in May week. Because I believe that May week game, you could see Vinny, he was not 100% fit for that game. But tomorrow, he will be fitter than May week. So with Vinny back, even though Mbappe is out through injury, but Rodrigo is back. And I believe they're going to use Brian Diaz, Rodrigo, and Vinny Jr. up front. And despite Madrid form, but look at the last 5 games in La Liga. They have won 4 out of 5. That's a good record. If you win 4 out of 5, it's good. That's 12 points from 15. So I think Madrid will be too strong for Rayo Vallecano tomorrow. So I do believe Madrid going to win that game 2-1. That's my prediction for the game. So we have other game that will not go into detail in the Premier League. So what's your prediction for Newcastle and Leicester City? Newcastle United is playing home against Leicester City. You are
It's,
muted.
uh, Newcastle home ground is
Yes.
it's a tough place to go for any team that go in there. Ruth Van Nistelrooy taking over Leicester City. I think he played 2 games so far, 4 points out of two. That's a good start for him. And I saw something different in a game against Brighton, the 2-all game. I saw Didi were playing his natural position where the previous coach changed that position. He had him playing in an attacking position, you know. So apparently Nestor Road had, you know, discovered some of those problems that the previous coach had, and he decided to make some changes. Again, going to be a tough one. We saw it's a tough thing to come from down 2-0 and manage to draw the game like he did against Brighton. So that was a good fight. It's a different Leicester City we're going to see tomorrow. Newcastle, they always solid at home. We saw them against Liverpool. They put out a very good fight. If Liverpool was not that tough, they could have lost that game. So I say give that game to Newcastle tomorrow 2-1 in favor of them.
All right, 2-1 Newcastle. And we have Wolves versus Ipswich. Those two teams, they are way below the table, but Wolves, they are playing home. So what's your prediction for that game?
That game of prediction is 1-1.
1-1. Wolves 1. Okay. For me, Newcastle United win 3-1, and Wolves gonna win Ipswich 2-1. So the last game will be Nottingham Forest, High Flying Forest, fifth place Forest. They are home to Aston Villa. What's your prediction for that one? You muted.
Yeah, that's a tough one, tough and tricky one for both sides, but I say give it to Forest.
What's your
Two,
prediction?
two, two, 2-0 in favor of Forest.
All right, 2-0 to Forest. For me, I think it's gonna be 2-2. A draw game. So We now move on to the games on Sunday. Sunday, there are a lot of games in the Premier League on Sunday, but we'll just look at a few of the games that are playing Sunday. We'll go into detail, and the first one I'm going to look at is the Manchester Derby on Sunday. And for me, I got a nickname for that game because both teams are very terrible right now. So it's the blind versus cripple on Sunday, the Manchester Derby. But Manchester United have nothing to lose. I think they're just going to throw all their eggs in a Europa League basket because if they win the Europa League, they will qualify for next season Champions League because the pathway through the Premier League is not there. It will be very difficult for Manchester United to finish in the top four in the Premier League. So, coming into the game, the last five meeting all competition between both teams, Manchester United 2 wins, Manchester City 3 wins, no draw. And I'm talking about competitive matches. The penalty shooter in a community sheet is not there because that's not a competitive feature. And looking at City the last 5 games in the Premier League, 1 win, 1 draw, 3 defeats. For Manchester United, 2 wins, 2 defeats, 1 draw. But City, they are in abysmal form, like Man United. Guardiola, a pre-match conference, he was complaining that he needs his player. Just want to, just want to.
I need wingers. When Erling is away, I have Oscar Bob and Phil Foden to play there. We have the same goals. This is the problem. If you tell me, no, all these players will be fine in that position, we need that, we'll go to the transfer market. But I don't know which one, because it depends. You have the 4 central defenders, I don't need central defenders. But we will have, the only problem is, Rodri, we knew it from the beginning, but the problem, Rodri, of course. We are playing this season without the best player, the Ballon d'Or, and without the best player in England last season. Phil had played 4 or 5 games, but no more than that in his best. So how not notice one team that play with a central defender, with a Ballon d'Or, and the best player in the Premier League during all the season? Of course it's difficult. Chicago Bulls won 6 NBA with Michael Jordan, right? So since then, Michael Jordan retired.
Okay. So that was Pep Guardiola complaining. He was saying, maybe if a lot of people didn't understand his English because he's from Catalonia, he's a Catalan. He was saying that he is playing with all the world best player, Rodri, and he is playing without the Premier League best player last season, Phil Foden. And with all the best players, it'll be difficult for him to win. And Chicago Bull won 6 NBA titles with Michael Jordan. But since Michael Jordan retired, they haven't won any title. So he's just giving excuses. This guy is not used to the pressure. The pressure is on him. Phil Foden has played a lot of games this season, but he has been terrible.
That was my point. That's what I was just about to talk
He
about.
complaining about Foden not available, Rodri not available. This guy, he has lost it. He has no answer.
The thing is he have Phil Foden fit.
So just coming. Why you respond to a pre?
It's just damn. I don't expect this from Pep Guardiola for real. He's a fantastic coach. He set brilliant record in the Premier League. You win. Come on now. What's wrong with this dude? What's wrong with him? Okay. Okay. What's wrong with Pep Guardiola?
Excuse me. Okay, 1 minute.
What's wrong with Pep Guardiola? You have Phil Foden. He was fit. He played against Liverpool. He played so many games. Some of those games he came from the bench. Why are you making those kind of comment? Why would you put those kind of things, you know, your poor form, your poor run? You trying to justify your poor run with players that you missing? I sort of I read an article like he missing 7 starting players. Seriously? Why? What Pep Guardiola is doing is he making people to feel different about him. As a football technician, they shouldn't be your crowd. They shouldn't be. We know a pin every good manager or every manager to lose your best player to injury or suspension that on the sideline. But how many starting players we talking about? Rodrigue is the main starting player. Phil Foden this season, he been off and on. He was fit. You had him on the bench. You starting some game you bring him from the bench. Those are not excuse. I'm not going to buy to that. And I know a lot of people is not they're not going to listen to that as well. The problem of Man City, he knows the problem. Speak of it. If you come out to say fatigue, the team is overloaded with fatigue. We can look at it from that perspective. We can look at it from that point because we know those guys that have been playing consistently in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and they won so many trophies in the last 5 years. That can break down a team. Why are you coming up with those cheap excuses? I call that cry baby. Why are you crying baby, dude? Put your stuff together as a good technician. Put your stuff together and get out of this crisis. Take a look at Real Madrid. You want to tell me you got injury player than Real Madrid? No. Hell no. But they're not crying. You still using natural defender, natural players in a rightful position. Madrid is not. Couple of games, Madrid got to use Valverde in a red back position. Could it be Pep Guardiola? He don't cry about it. So what makes you a good coach? You got to make player to improvise as a good manager, as a good technician of the game. Make players that's not used to this position. Look at the man quality. Look at what he does on the field and tell you, say, hey, we lack certain players is off from this position, so you got to improvise. And the player goes there to perform. We're not seeing it from him. You stay using your sub players, you stay using the same players that you've been rotating. You rotate these players and they work for you. They give you results, they give you trophies. So because one player is absent, Liverpool have Van Dijk out for the whole season. They didn't complain. They still pull out a fight. They didn't lose the kind of games that he lost in. No. So those are cheap propaganda because people believe in him. So he tried to hide beyond those things to say, oh, because this, because that, because this. Other coaches go into the academy side. They get players from there. Liverpool went, Real Madrid went on the academy. Look at the kid that playing over there right now, Asensio. He's brilliant. You want to tell me Manchester don't have an academy to bring to recruit players from there to fill all those gaps? But you do have a starting player. You do have other players on the bench that you've been using. It's just not working for you because you got so many aging players on the team that tires, that don't run. Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, Godigan, Walker. Those guys wear it out. They overuse themselves. He knows that. The Kevin De Bruyne that we used to see, we don't see it no more. How many chances that he creates? How many runs he makes in a game? It's not happening because they're tired. So Pep Guardiola got to stop the crybaby thing and do the right thing and make sure that he gave the people that necessary result. To the game between them and Manchester United, it's a derby. All right, it's a derby. You just read the last 5 meetings. Manchester United managed to win 2, Man City won 3. But go back to those games. City were playing their best football, but they still got a loss to Manchester United. in that last 5 meetings. They still lost 2 to Manchester United. And one more right now where they're struggling. They are terrible. They're conceding goals. They're not defending well. They're not controlling games. So Manchester United can pull off a fight on the weekend. They can pull off a true fight. This is different manager. It's a different manager now. It's a big challenge for the team. A big challenge for the new manager of Manchester United. So from the Manchester United perspective, they're going to put up a fight against City on Sunday. They'll try to win again. And I believe Manchester United are going to win again. And my prediction for that game is 2-1. The reason why I'm saying this, then Manchester United is not in their best form. But when City was in their best form, Manchester United still managed to defeat them. So it's a City rival. It's a different game. Every rivalry game is always tough. It's always tough. And we've seen the kind of form. Manchester City is supposed to be lost into Juventus. Come on now. Come on now.
Thank you very much. And
Let Guardiola do something else. Come
for
on.
me, Guardiola, he has lost it. He has been rattled. He has no excuse right now. So all the excuses he's making, they are all flimsy excuses. Looking at the team that play against Juventus in May week, and you tell me if that team shouldn't be winning. In goal, he had Edison, his best goalkeeper, Rico Lewis, number 3, number 2, Kyle Walker, who has been his best number 2, Ruben Diaz, second most expensive defender, Guardiola, the most expensive defender in the world, playing 4 and 5 with Ruben Diaz, Bernardo Silva, Ike Godoga, sitting deep in the midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, number 10, Jack Grealish, 11, Jeremy Doku, 7, Erling Haaland, number 9. How dare you complain when you have such lineup? Such lineup should be winning game of football. And he had Savino on the bench, Nunes were on the bench, Kovacic were on the bench. All those guys, they were on the bench. So the only injured player Pep Guardiola has right now, Rodri, Johnston, Akanji. And he usually rotates Johnston, Akanji with Ruben Diaz and Guardiola. So
absolutely.
Why is he making excuse? Talking about Chicago Bull winning 6 championship with Jordan. So you telling me Rodri is the best player in the world? So with all Rodri, you cannot win football match. That's a poor excuse.
It just showed that he was a small time coach.
That's a poor excuse for Guardiola.
Right. For me, if you're speaking from that perspective, sorry for interrupting you. It just showed to the footballing world that he's a small time coach. Without a big player, you can make a move. Rodri wasn't there when you won trophy without Rodri. So why now? Why now?
Making such flimsy excuse. He has never been in such situation before.
This
is the reason why people with all his success, a lot of people still don't have respect for him because he only achieved where they have a lot of big players. If you look at Barcelona, his achievement at Barcelona with all Lionel Messi, he couldn't do that. Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, any coach could have achieved with Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, with that Barcelona team, that group of players. Any coach could have achieved what Guardiola achieved there. You saw Luis Enrique, a very awful coach. He won a treble with those players. Any coach could win a treble with Messi, Xavi, Iniesta. Luis Enrique proved that. Enrique is not a good coach, but he won a treble with those guys. And going to Bayern Munich won a treble before Guardiola. Bayern Munich team was the best thing in the world. So how can a coach go to Bayern Munich, the best thing in the world? You have to win a German league. Coming to the Premier League, the most money at that time, the best player, you have to win. He has never taken over a small squad. Like, for example, what Mourinho did at FC Porto, winning the Champions League with Porto and winning the Champions League with Inter Milan, bunch of old guys who were already about to retire from football. Mourinho did that. Ferguson, who many people take to be the best coach of all time, but the City fan, they will tell you Pep Guardiola is greater than Ferguson. Apart from Manchester United, what Ferguson did at Aberdeen, a very small club in Scotland, everybody knows in Scotland are two things in win, Rangers and Celtic. It was Ferguson that ended that. He won 2 championships with Aberdeen. He won the European Cup with Aberdeen, defeating Real Madrid in the final, a small club, before going to Manchester United. And he built Manchester United team over and over, built different team with our squad. When Eric Cantona, Bruce, with all the guys there, Roy Keane, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, they're coming to build another team with Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney. Pep Guardiola, he has never built anything before. So let's see. They say the thing they are done. He is escaping from the main reason the team is performing poorly. City team, the team is very old. Most of the important players are old. Kevin De Bruyne is like 34, 33. Ike Godogal is seeing age group. Bernardo Silva 30. So you have 3 guys that he's using in the middle of the park. They don't have legs to cover the pitch. Even Kovacic is in his 30s. So I don't want you to complain, oh, Kovacic. He's already in his 30s. He played for Real Madrid and Chelsea. He's already in his 30s. So all your midfielder they are old. And a young guy who's supposed to take over from Kevin De Bruyne, he is not performing this season. He has been shocking this season. Phil Foden. He has been one of the worst players this season in the Premier League. Then he's complaining that Phil Foden is not there. He has played a lot of games. No goal, no assist. And Jack Grealish, the English media, they will never talk about Jack Grealish. But Jack Grealish, 12 months, Jack Grealish has scored 1 goal in 12 months. £100 million, 1 goal in 12 months. But they will never ever talk about Jack Grealish. I don't like Rashford form, but Rashford has scored more goals in 12 months than Jack Grealish did in entire Manchester City career. This guy, 1 goal in 12 months, but yet Pep Guardiola does not want to talk about that. Talk about Jeremy Doku, who doesn't score enough, who his end product is awful. Talk about Savino, players that you bought to replace Raheem Sterling and Mahrez. What are they doing? They can't score. They can't give assists. So this is one of the problems you should talk about. That your transfer windows for the past 2 seasons have been awful. You didn't buy right. You bought Jeremy Doku. He's not good enough. Forget about dancing with the football, the end product, the assists and the goals. Jeremy Doku, no assist, no goal. Savino the same. So he doesn't want to discuss the problem. Talking about Rodri. Even with Rodri in the squad will still struggle with Rodri. And
Absolutely.
Coming to the game, as I said, is blind was a cripple. Both teams are in form, and the game Sunday will be a very difficult game. But I think it will be a draw game because both teams terrible. Manchester United problem, individual error. That's one of the major problems. If you see the goals Man United been conceding all season, more than 50% of the goals are individual errors. And if you don't take that from your game, it's very difficult for you to win the game of football. Individual errors. Onana, the last 2 games, he has made 3 goalkeeping errors that led to goals. And I think this new coach will get rid of Onana because he is not the one that bought him. Ten Hag had the patience with him the entire last season. He messed all the game or he stayed play. But Amorim is not the one who bought him. And he wants his own players. He's not going to keep Onana. He continued to make mistakes. Even yesterday game, he gave 1 goal to Victoria Pleasant. You can't be doing that. And City defense is also terrible. Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, none of those guys in good form. Guardiola. Every one of them, they are not in good form. And the Mayfield, I can't see them overrunning our Mayfield on Sunday because their Mayfielder don't have the legs. They're going to struggle against Ugarte and Kobe Meno on Sunday.
And this is where I came in. I said I predicted that game in favor of Manchester
They're going to
United. If
struggle.
you win, if you win yesterday in the park of the Mayfield, it's obvious that you're going to win that game. Those guys can't stand the 90 minutes with intensity. And the Premier League, it requires a lot of intensity. You see how people run at your team when they're on a break. It happens a lot. So as a midfielder playing the Premier League, you got to get the ability, you got to get the energy to run through all the game, to move all over the pitch. What you need. And City is lacking that. So that's the weakness right now. And a lot of teams capitalize on that. They look at their weaknesses and they move to either control the game, play the ball, and then run at you and they score goals. You saw the game against Juventus. From the start of the game, City were kind of controlling the game. In that same press conference, he said they play a very good game. How can you play a very good game? You lost 2-0. Come on now. What are you
That
talking about? That's not a
Guardiola,
good game.
Guardiola is confused right now. So coming back to the game, they are maybe going to struggle, and it's not Manchester United. Maybe it's not that good enough. Also, so this is the reason why I'm saying the game going to be a draw game. So my prediction for that game on Sunday would be Manchester City 2, Manchester United 2. It's going to be a draw game, that derby. So my prediction is 2-2. So we move on to the Chelsea game. Chelsea, they surprised a lot of fans, a lot of football fans this season. And they are second in the Premier League table. Many people expected Chelsea to struggle for their third season in running because their past two seasons they struggle a lot. But this season they are second place, 4 points behind Liverpool, but they play one more game than Liverpool. And our tomorrow opposition is Brentford. And everyone knows Brentford is a very, very difficult team. Even before Pep Guardiola struggled, Brentford was the last team to win at the Etihad Stadium in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Brentford was the last team before Pep Guardiola lost this gone time against Tottenham Hotspur 4-0. Brentford was the last team to win at the Etihad. They are a very dangerous team on a break. They are very good on a break. Wisa and the Cameroonian international Buemo, they are on good form right now. They are scoring goals for fun. Wisa, I think he had 8 or 9 goals in the Premier League. He's on fire. And their last 5 meetings in the Premier League between Brentford and Chelsea, you will be surprised. Chelsea 0 win. The last 5 meetings in the Premier League between Brentford and Chelsea have 0 win. They have not won against Brentford in the
That's
last 5 meetings in
shocking.
the Premier League. 0 win. Many people will be surprised that 5 games Chelsea are now won against Brentford. And guess what? Brentford have won 3 with 2 draw. They have won 3 of their last 5 games against Chelsea in the Premier League with 2 draw. So that alone tells you that Sunday, despite Chelsea form, Brentford is a team that can play big game. I remember Everton halfway game in the Premier League, 30 minutes in the game, Brentford they were all 4-0, and again at 4-0,
I remember that game.
and again at 4-0. They are very dangerous on the break. They just like Liverpool on the break. That's how Brentford play. And Sunday opposition Chelsea, they are on fire. Their last 5 games in the Premier League this season, they won 4, they draw 1. Brentford last 5 games in the Premier League, they won 3, draw 1 defeat. But this is between the two teams. In their last 5 meetings, Chelsea 0 win. So with that record against Brentford, what's your take on Chelsea game on Sunday?
Well, that game is a tricky match for Chelsea. Brentford, They ain't got nothing to lose. You know, they're not a big side. They're already playing games. They're already winning games. They're okay where they are. You know, Chelsea. From the Chelsea perspective, they don't want to drop any points. People they're keeping silent. They're saying that they are not title contender. They're referring to themselves that they're not title contender. Their mission is to be part of the first four team to the Champion League. Um, it's a strategy because if you say you're a title contender publicly, people know now you're a title contender. It put pressure on the team. It comes with a lot of pressure. So that's the tactic the Chelsea technical staff and the coaching staff and the manager trying to play. You know, all we're doing is just play and win, and we want to be. Our goal is to qualify for the Champions League. But they are title contender. You've seen it. All right. Arsenal were up there. Um, Man City was there. They already passed two of the teams that were up there for the first couple of games when the season started. It's sitting second place, and look at how many points between they and Liverpool. 4 points. And how can you say team like that is not a title contender? They are, but when it comes to the game, it's a tough one. Chelsea want to continue. They want to maintain their 100% record. In the past 5 games, their last 5 games, in the Premier League, they've been Britain, even the conference, the Euro Conference League. They're playing fantastic game. They're winning with big score. Chelsea scoring goals for fun. That's the bottom line. So they want to maintain that 100% record, win to keep it tight with Liverpool. They don't want to open up the gap between they and the league leader. They sit in second place, and they also don't want to lost its second place spot to Arsenal because Arsenal is not too far away from them. So this is how pressure start, and they're going against a netman team. I call them a netman. You just said it. 5 games, 0 win. You're going against that. You play your last 5 games, you can't win them, and they're still in a brilliant form. Brentford still playing good football, and we know Brentford when they go in against a tough side or big side, their game is different. The Cameroonian international, the Congolese, what those guys are, they are capable of playing on any of the Big Ten in England with the kind of football they're playing. So they are also a big player in their own capacity. You know, the football Brentford play, the attacking football they play, they break when they on the break. Chelsea also have a weakness. So those guys coming at Chelsea defense is not mature. You got a lot of young folks in our defense. No leadership is in Chelsea defense. They're winning right now. We agree they're winning, but they're also conceding goals. Look at some of the games. Most of the games are Chelsea winning. They concede goals in almost all of their game. We saw it at Tottenham Spurs game. A Tottenham Spurs was a good team. They couldn't have lost to Chelsea or even draw that game after scoring 2 goals to Chelsea. No, you're not coming back. You can only fight to draw that game, but you're not coming to come win it.
Apart
You
from
know,
that, they had chances when it was 2-1, 2-2.
right? They have so many chances. Brentford is not going to give you that breathing chance. They score goals on you. You get them. You come to attack them. Those 2 guys up front, they are very, very dangerous when they only attack. And they also good. They got a very good footwork. When they on the ball, they can do anything to a defender. So that game is going to be a very tricky one for Chelsea. Like I said from the beginning, Brentford is a small side as compared to Chelsea. They got nothing to lose. Their target is not Premiership. They just want to continue playing, winning those games to accumulate those points that will keep them in near the top 4 or the top 5. Maybe at the end of the season they can go for Europa, they can go for the Conference League. That's Brentford target. And they're proving that. They're playing games. I mean, they're winning games. They're scoring goals. They're accumulating points. And those are things that matter. When it comes to the Premier League, you want to get to somewhere, you got to win those tricky matches. You got to win some of those games. When you go play your equal, you go fight what you can get from them. But if you keep losing to the bigger side, it's a problem for you. So Brentford going to be avoiding that, and my prediction for that game tomorrow is 2-2.
All right. Thank you very much. Chelsea 2, Brentford 2. For me, it's a very difficult game for Chelsea, even though they're playing home. But Chelsea can be get at. They have a very good midfield, but the defense and the goalkeeper, they are not good enough. And this is the reason why I don't consider Chelsea to be one of the threat to Liverpool for the Premier League title, because they don't have a good goalkeeper and they don't have a good defense, particularly the center defense. And tomorrow, they coming on Sunday, excuse me, they will be going up against a very strong Brentford side. And Wisa and Buemo, both of them have 9 goals. Une Creswu, Palmer, Haaland, and Mo Salah have more goals than those 2 guys.
Wow. That's
9 goals each. The 2 of them, they have 9 goals each. And that game, it will be a very difficult game. But I would just give Chelsea the edge because they play Stamford Bridge. Probably they're going to end our curse on Sunday because they have a very good midfield. And in football game, mostly if you control the midfield, your chances of winning will increase. Even though it's not guaranteed in football that if you win, and a lot of people feel that having more ball possession, welcome Otis. A lot of people feel that having more ball possession, it means that you control the game. No. You can have ball possession, you pass the ball backward and sideward without threatening the opposition. But how many chances you created in a game? How many clear-cut chances you created? That's the most important thing. And how many goals the team score? That is the most important one in football game, to score goal. So, I think Chelsea going to win 2-1. Yeah, that's my prediction for the game. Oh, Otis, welcome. Otis,
that's a top match for them.
Yeah, Otis, you were
Otis,
just...
you just woke up from... You're sleeping, right?
No, I get from hustling, OJ.
Okay.
I work today. I take my data off.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah.
Let me just... You will just give us a summary, right? Don't go into detail, particularly few games. Arsenal playing Everton tomorrow, and Everton, Arsenal last 5 games, the Premier League game, Everton, they won everything. No draw, no loss. And Liverpool will be playing home to Fulham. The last 5 meeting between the Liverpool, they haven't lost. They won 4, draw 1 against Fulham. And the Manchester Derby is on Sunday, and Chelsea play Brentford. So, just talk about those 4 games. Arsenal and Everton. What's your take?
For that one for sure, we know the score. We just the Brentford score, but I think we know the first of all. I would like to thank everybody for the platform. At least we gradually we go in there where we want to be. We know a couple of times. We know in a short period of time we want to be there. But Arsenal versus Everton, I know we're gonna win. It's just the score. I don't know. We're gonna win for high school, but I don't know how the score going to be. So maybe I know that Arsenal, with the kind of way I saw them playing against Monaco, I know they're going to win. They're going to win that game. But just I right now I just have to sit down and predict the kind of score that we're going to win Everton, because Everton said they are not informed for this season. So
what your prediction?
Arsenal going to win. The prediction going to be something around 4-1 or 4-0.
Okay. Might call one score. 4-1, 4-0. Which one?
It's going to be like 4-1.
4-1. Okay. Liverpool and Fulham. What's your take?
Liverpool and Fulham again. So Fulham, that game going to produce a draw.
What's the score?
It's going to be a 2-0 draw.
2-2 draw. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your prediction for the Manchester Derby? Blanc was a cripple.
the blind versus cripple. Manchester is the blind, Manchester City is the cripple. The two of them going to kill each other, but I know Manchester, on a short note, like the way I saw Manchester United, the second half of the Europa League, because I was watching the highlight. The first half, they were not too impressive like the way I expect them to be. But the second half, the way they came about, and if you want to win games, that's how you should play. You should try to dominate the game in certain extent, most especially when it comes to in your opponent half, because that's where the game lasts. It's not in your own half, but in your opponent half, the type of chances you create, that's the kind of game. And the way I saw Manchester United are going to win that game against Manchester City. I think that game going to be something like a 3-2 games against in the field of Manchester United.
Okay, so the last game we're discussing before you came was the Chelsea and Brentford game. Let me just.
You say who?
Chelsea will be at home to Brentford on Sunday.
Chelsea versus Ghana, Brentford.
And their last 5 meetings, right? The last 5 meetings between the both in the Premier League. Chelsea, they have now won against Brentford in their last 5 meetings in the Premier League. Brentford won 3 drew. So they won 3 of their last 5 games against Chelsea in the Premier League, and they drew 2. So Otis, looking at that game on Sunday, Brentford, they have 2 Africans that are on fire. Wissa, he has 9 goals in the Premier League. Buemo, the Cameroonian Buemo also, he has 9 goals in the Premier League. So what's your take?
I mean, that team is a difficult side. I know Chelsea is in form, playing very well. Chelsea still got a little bit. That's why you see the coach always know they are winning, but he know there are a few lapses there. And when you watch Brentford, the way Brentford the way they compact the defense, and that Mayfield, the way they compact, if you play, and the way I see Chelsea play that free flow football to open up like that, if they carry that kind of free flow football with that kind of compact Mayfield against Brentford, because the only man against Brentford, it will be a disaster. Trust me, it will be one of the games. But I know the attack is very good. They can create chances, but Brentford got a very, very solid defense. That's the strength. That's what gave the attacker to create more goals, because to penetrate them, they are one of the solid team that is the smaller team that is very solid that I see within the Premier League. That game, they score, I don't know, but that game, for my prediction, maybe a draw. If Chelsea play very hard, because that side again, any bigger side, they are the top tier, one of the top tier smaller side this season. Yeah, and they got the attackers that can take chance. They can take any chances come their way, they can produce it. Yeah. So if Chelsea play that free flow football that I can see them playing, they will find it difficult against Brentford. Are you getting me?
Well, yeah. So what's your prediction?
My prediction going to be a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Okay. Thank you very much, Otesai. So, and we now go to, because we have other game in the Premier League. So, Otis, just give me a prediction, because we gave our prediction for the other game. What's your prediction for Newcastle and Leicester City?
Let's see.
Newcastle is playing home, St. James's Park.
St. James Park. Newcastle and Leicester City. My prediction for that game going to be 2-0 in favor of Newcastle.
2-0?
Yeah.
2-0. Okay, your prediction for Wolves versus Ipswich.
Wolves versus Ipswich. It's going to be a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. So what's your prediction for Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa?
Nottingham Forest versus, it's a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. What about Rayo Vallecano versus Real Madrid?
Real Madrid is going to be maybe a 3-1 game
3-1.
if you are Real Madrid.
Okay. So, what about Brighton versus Crystal Palace? Brighton is playing home. They're playing
Mm,
Palace.
Palace at home. It's going to be a 2-1 in favor of Brighton.
2-1 in favor of Brighton.
Yeah.
2-1 to Brighton. For me, Brighton will be in a 3-1. And what's your prediction? Southampton versus Tottenham Hotspur.
Southampton versus Spurs. Spurs playing at home, right?
Southampton playing home.
Southampton playing home. Spurs. But anyway, Spurs they not get home away. It's just kind of up and or down thing. But for the edge of bigger side, maybe I will give an edge to Spurs. That game going to be a 2-1 if it was Spurs.
2-1 to Spurs, right?
Yeah.
2-1 to Spurs. I think that game gonna be 1-1. It's gonna be a draw game. So we now move on to the last game on Sunday. That is in La Liga, right? So we discuss all the big Premier League game and La Liga. Barcelona, they are 2 points clear of La Liga, 2 points ahead of Real Madrid, but they play one game more than Madrid. 3 points ahead of Atletico Madrid, but they play one game more than Atletico Madrid. And looking at Barcelona, their last 5 meetings with Leganes, they have won 4, lost 1. So Barcelona have the edge when it comes to their last 5 meetings, 4 wins, 1 defeat. But in recent time, Barcelona in La Liga, they have been very inconsistent. Like I said, like almost 2 months ago when we started the show, I told you that Barcelona team, they have a lot of young players, and young players, they come with inconsistency. And this is what happening to Barcelona right now. Their last 5 games in La Liga, they have only 1 win in their last 5 games. They 5-1 win away to Mallorca. That is the only win Barcelona have in La Liga in the last 5 games. And 2 draws, 2 defeats. So looking at that kind of abysmal form, coming into the game with Leganes, even though for me, Barcelona, they are the clear favorite. So Otis, looking at that form, 1 win in 5 La Liga game for Barcelona. What's your take on that game on Sunday against Leganes?
For me, I'm a Barcelona fan. I told you, as like we previously said, we said the team is young, but there is one kid when he's back, he bent down. A couple of games that he played, he was not that fit, but he's back. Like the game I saw, he played in the Gontan. I
Yeah,
think,
Drew. The last game back at Drew.
yeah, but the way I saw him playing, it's kind of incredible. That kid is I know he back, but Barcelona will be the favorite in that game. I don't care what it takes. Barcelona going to win that game. It's just the score going to be a little bit, but I know they're going to win again. That game going to be like a 3-1. But Barcelona going to win that game because I know all the players are back and they playing very well. That's why it's a young team. But the inconsistency is because they are young, but I know they're going to pull out a good fight against because they know their opponent are very close to them, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. So I think they're going to pull out a fight to keep the gaps. That's part of outstanding game. Outstanding game, it's not in favor of one person. It's for the both sides are going to play the outstanding game. So they're going to stay quite hard to keep that gaps. And I know the performance when they go on time, with the kind of way hard they play, I know that game going to be a victorious one for them.
So what your prediction for the game?
I think we're going to be 3-1.
3-1 to Barcelona. Okay, Mr. Otisai. Okay, Mr. Kola, let me come to you. Barcelona, they have they're in a very bad form right now. 1 win in 5 La Liga games, and their opponent on Sunday is Leganes. Even though Leganes, they are struggling, they have 1 win, 2 in their last 5 games, 3 defeats with 1 draw. So what's your take on Barcelona game on Sunday?
That game gonna be a one-sided game. That's by the inconsistency of Barcelona this season. We seen it going uh, um, 5 game, 1 win. It's a terrible, terrible result for them. But in a much that Barcelona is struggling, they're kind of inconsistent when it comes to the Premier League.
La Liga.
I mean, in the La Liga, it still give them. I mean, I still give them the edge. Um, they're playing some brilliant football in the Champions League. Um, they had a couple of players that were out, more especially that wonder kid. When he's out of the game, Barcelona struggle a lot. And this person is just a kid. You cannot continue the season like that. You know, you got to be consistent when it comes to winning the La Liga. You got a lot of tough opponent. You got Real Madrid. It's not only Madrid. You got Atletico Madrid as well. They're not too far from being on top of the table. And those guys won, I think, consistently. They're winning consistently. From the start of the season, they struggle a little bit, but now they're winning games. Legana is not a tough side. They're struggling too. Barcelona is going to win them. My prediction for that game is 3-1 for Barcelona.
3-1 to Barcelona. So, what's your prediction for the Brighton and Crystal Palace game on Sunday? Brighton playing home.
Brighton and Crystal Palace is 2-2 draw.
Brighton Palace 2-2. So what about Southampton and Tottenham on Sunday? Southampton playing home.
Southampton Spurs 2-1 to Spurs.
2-1 Spurs. For me, I predicted that game 1-1. And for me, Barcelona will be too strong for Leganes. And most of the time, I don't know. Most of the time, when I predict for high score for Barcelona, they don't win. So I think I'm going to predict 4-0 to Barcelona. So Barcelona going to win. It will be too strong for Leganes on Sunday. So I think they're going to win 4-0. So we now look at so Otis.
Yeah.
Just hold on 1 second. I don't know who.
I wanted to, but maybe we'll do that on the weekend to talk about the coaches that are struggling in terms of injury player, because Pep Guardiola had become the subject of all his discussion.
Yeah, sorry, man. That was go open the front door for that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Otis, I just want to ask you one question because we'll soon wrap it up.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola, I played a video at the start of the show. Guardiola is complaining that he doesn't have the world best player in the world, Rodri, and he doesn't have the Premier League best player last season, Phil Foden, and Chicago Bull won 6 NBA titles with Michael Jordan, and without Michael Jordan, they didn't win. So that means the reason why he's losing is because Rodri and Phil Foden not there. Even though Foden has played a lot of games this season. So what's your take on that remark?
The problem is Pep feel to relate to the fact that his players, a lot of them are well away. They play, they can. I mean, that's football game we have been seeing it. Player cannot be consistent in the games like the way they dominate, like for 3, almost 4, 5 seasons now. They dominating with these kind of players. He know that the player will well away. I mean, that's game the people got energy. That's training the people using. First of all, the people can be consistent 5-6 seasons like that in a row. And the problem is, the players in there, a lot of them went away already. They are aging. When the age comes on the player, I mean, the reason the people set a bookmark on a player that when you reach the age of 30, and then they know that you start declining is only few players can pass that bookmark and still be informed. Only few, not a lot. Because a lot of footballers from the youth age, you start seeing in 16, 17, 18, you start playing. You play almost like 20 years active football. Definitely know at the age of 30, you will wear away. It's obvious. So right now, the only thing is he need a good recruitment to see how he can add a younger force to that. Even if I can bet you right now with the form that they're in, you even bring back all these players back. Let's just bring everybody back. The form they're in now. Let's just agree that the injury there, so that the injury stop the other players from performing. Before Pep team Pep had a kind of player where people can say, oh yeah, Pep got two different teams. Where one player injured, and then everybody say, oh yeah, it doesn't matter injury, Pep can still win the league because he got 4 teams. His bench is very good. So why they excuse now that the bench is not good no more? So is it today because the bench is not good? It's because the players are wear away, they are done. It's just because the same way he used to be, everybody used to be like, oh, Pep, Man City, the reason they win the league because they got a very good bench. Now the bench is playing. So the bench is playing, and so meaning that the bench is not good. It's just that the players done. A lot of them down there, they are already. A lot of them, they are.
Okay, what's going on?
Maybe you getting a call.
Yeah.
I want to give my parting comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
I think the network got a little bit of problem today.
Hello? Go ahead, man. You don't get Wi-Fi?
Right there. Somebody told me.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was saying. I said, Pat, it's no excuse. The team they get need to recruit now and try to build a team and try to add up. It's not an excuse because injury is part of the game. That is not an excuse for anybody.
All right. Thank you, Otis. All right, so just get your parting comment.
My parting comment going to be on Pep Guardiola. He's a veteran coach. He has set a lot of brilliant record in a footballing world. He coached 3 of the best teams in the world: Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and then Manchester City. He got to stop those kind of cheap excuses. He got to start giving those excuses and focus on rebuilding Manchester City. Man City need rebuilding. You got almost 5 to 6 players that need to replace, or you got to bring in fresh life that will play the roles of those guys that we're talking about. Maybe they can come from the bench and start some games, give them enough rest. Those guys need to rest, and the only way they can rest, you need to get consistent players that will play those roles as compared to them while they're resting. He need that. Then you start crying about somebody being injured, who is injured, XYZ. It's not going to help him. It's just going to show his weakness. It just show how limited he is or how small-time coach he is. Winning laurels with the greatest players, and then when you get to the worst point, you can't do nothing about it. He need to stop that and just focus on your game. And I'm looking forward to that game against Manchester United. I am very much optimistic that Man United are going to win that game. I'm very sure about that because I saw a couple of games how they fight, and with the current form, with the current run of Man City, I just can't see them winning against Manchester United. Manchester United is not in the best form; they're struggling as well. But I just can't see Man City winning against Manchester United on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that game.
Except the cripple get a blank chance.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game, and I'm in support of Man United winning that game for the new manager. The new manager got to prove himself. He's new to the Premier League. This is going to be a big hit or a fresh city rival. a Fresh City rivalry game, rather. It's going to be a Fresh City rivalry game. So it's a tough one. I know he's prepared for it. He's planning some good stuff for Manchester United. And he got to show to Manchester United fan that it was not a mistake bringing him to Man United to take care of the club. So it's a big task, and I'm very much sure that he's going to put out a fight. And to those Manchester United players, the coach trying to build the confidence in those guys, and they got to pay back. You know, Manchester United their players have a tendency that every time they go to a game, every time new manager come, they want to detach. Some of them want to detach to the manager and all this stuff. Football don't go like that.
No, this time around is different because
They don't go like that. So
the club will listen to offer for all of them.
If they want to stay on Manchester United, you got to pull out a fight. You got to secure your win. You got to show to the manager that indeed you deserve being a Manchester United player. Manchester United is not a small team. You know, they're not a
the
small
club
team.
going to listen to offer for everybody.
They are tough side. They are big side. They are big name in European and world football. Seeing Manchester United being down, I'm not a fan of Manchester United, but we like to see the big guys over there, knocking horns together all the time. The Barcelona, the Real Madrid, the Bayern Munich, the Arsenal, the Chelsea. But if we start seeing Manchester United playing football like, ordinary team, it's so saddening to the footballing world. So we urging the players of Manchester, the current Manchester United squad, to pull out a fight against Man City. They have done it a couple of times when Man City was in their best form. They still went about to win games against Manchester City. So United,
I still got confidence in them for it.
Yes, United. Go for it. Sunday, you can do it. Those guys, they are nothing. Their coach is just a big mouth coach. He has proven to people now that he's just a big mouth coach. He continues showing his simplicity. Why will you be having interview like that? Complaining about player not being. What will you say about Carlos Ancelotti with the kind of injuries list Madrid guy? Because I continue emphasizing on there because they got the biggest injury crisis in European football this season, and they're not crying. You still using all of your players in a natural position. Where Carlos Ancelotti, I'm setting an example in Real Madrid because Carlos Ancelotti has used, he had tell players to improvise, midfielder playing in defense. They're not crying. They still managing game. They're still winning. So what more about you? That claim to be the best coach. You wanted the Premier League how many times in succession? Prove to yourself, prove to the world, prove to the fan that indeed with all the crisis you're going through, you are still a manager. That's how we know good manager. Time for difficulty in difficult times.
The Premier League for him.
You come and show to people that despite the situation you're going through, you can still pull out a show. How many times you see him tell go again, go play number 2? No, we don't see it. We're not seeing it. Those guys, you still got defender available that play in a natural position. Look at the squad that Musa talking about, the squad that you that played against Juventus. You still lost 2-0. How can a good manager complain about that squad? You're just not performing. So put your stuff together, start bragging, start crying, baby. Give the people their result. The only reason why he's still on Mercedes because of a past record, so they want to give him the benefit of the doubt. If you're any other coach by now, he's been fired. So thank you very much to all of you guys that here tonight listening to
and
thank you
to
thank you to my
let me just say something to
I want us to discuss the topic too. Why we look at why the look of the new Champions League or draw that getting
we'll discuss it off camera. We'll talk. Yeah. That is show finish. Let me just say something right to all the guys in Labrador that listen via Facebook. You can predict the games. They're all the games that you see on the screen. You can give your prediction, but your prediction have to be in a comment section on YouTube, not Facebook. Come to the YouTube page, give your prediction in the comment section. If you get every game you get right, it's $1 scratch card, whether it's MTN or how you call the other one?
Orange.
Orange or MTN. So if you get a Chelsea game right, you'll get $1. You get the Manchester United, it should just be the red score. If you say 2-0, the game 2-0, you get $1. So if you get 5 games right, you get $5. So, but it have to be in a YouTube comment section, not Facebook. You have to go to the YouTube page and leave your score prediction right there. You can predict all the 10 games in the Premier League plus Real Madrid game and Barcelona game. That's 12 games. So if you get all 12, that's $12 for you. Thank you. So Ote, what's your parting comment?
Yeah, that's a good thing for those guys. I gotta go and go to my comments so I can get my dollar too. I gotta go and comment too. So see you guys. See you guys Sunday evening after the game. We'll be here again to discuss.
Right after the game, Sunday we'll be there to discuss the game, and we'll look at the flood of the mistakes from every other teams, bring it up to the platform to see how best we can discuss it. Though I was late because I went to work and I just came back. So,
man, you go do Uber.
But Uber I don't work.
Yeah. Now that where you gotta go clacking and clack off at a specific time. No. So thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please go.
Subscribe.
The link is in the description. Please subscribe to the Football Heritage. You can share, you can comment, you can like. The link is there. Please subscribe. We really need a subscription. It will help to improve this channel. It will help to build this channel. So thank you for listening once more. We'll be back on Sunday to give our post-match reaction to the various game in the Premier League and in La Liga. Thank you very much. Peace. We are all here. See you on Sunday. You guys can have a blessed night.